Prix Motocross Series. As always, a massive turnout in Holland. And a beautifully prepared circuit, as always, in Valkenswaard. Greg Albertine, definitely his last season riding in Europe. Stefan Everts had a lousy outing in Spain. Mechanically, he had a few problems. He'll be out to prove himself here. Donny Schmidt, in the new colours, had a tremendous outing in Spain in the first round. Kurt Nickel looked very good on the hard circuit in Talavera. How's he going to be in the sand? He's looking fit. Here are some of the other competitors lining up for you. Marnik Barefoots, Trampus Parker, Werner de Wit. Edwin Everton, everyone thought he was badly injured, but he's back in action for the Honda factory team. Andrea Bartolini, always a very strong competitor. And Yves de Maria, he got second overall in Spain. He's a bit of an unknown quantity. If he gets his head together, he is a real force to be reckoned with, as you know. No need for me to tell you that. Here are the standings after round one then. Schmidt in the lead ahead of de Maria, Albertine, Bartolini, Trampus Parker fifth. Now then, what will happen with Albertine? I know Donny Schmidt had a disastrous outing here in Valkenswaard last year, and this is always a tremendous start in Holland, and the crowd cheer them on. Who's going to get into that corner first? Sandman, Werner de Wit, number 7, going well, as is Marnik Barefoot. You'd expect the locals to go well here. De Wit went tremendously well in the training, but Colin Dugmore and Jamie Schrevenels have tangled with Jorgensen and Oldman, and they're out of contention for this first heat, which is 30 minutes and 2 laps. Back to the old 2-heat format. So the races won't be so dependent on the starts as they have been over past seasons. Marnik Barefoot in the lead on Suzuki. And look at these ruts. It froze last night. Whoa, a wild bucking bronco time for Barefoots out there. It froze last night, but we didn't get this permafrost situation like we got in the Nationals in Holland, where the sand was actually very hard. The ruts are breaking up, and the guys are going to be able to ride them. This man is riding so well, isn't he? But look, Stefan Everts, who had those awful problems in Spain with the kickstart breaking off and all sorts of technical problems with a broken hub as well, was always looking strong in his Group A training. He was by far the fastest. Alexandre Poussard made a good showing as well. So right now, you can see Marnik Barefoot on Suzuki being chased by Stefan Everts, who's closing all the time on the new Kawasaki in the new colours. And those two are pulling away from the rest of the field by quite a substantial margin. Everts won't want to risk anything. He'll just choose his moment. And it looks as if the moment has come, as on lap 2. Stefan Everts moves into the lead. Now then, he's going to be concentrating on making sure there are no problems in his riding. Technically, poor old Alec was shaking his head in disbelief down. Whoa, Albertine, never a man for the ruts in the sand. Hangs on to it, but he's a long way down. Not having the best start to the season is the number 1, the world champion. But he does like to build and get his confidence together, and it's difficult when you're a world champion. People expect so much more of you, especially when you've stated you're not going to ride in Grand Prix Motocross again. If he doesn't get a ride in the States next year, we are not going to see Albertine over here. But we're seeing this man now, Stefan Everts, taking the checkered flag. And a lot of Belgians make this relatively short journey to Valkenswaard, cheering the boy on. Marnik Barefoot, 2nd place. Werner de Wit manages a 3rd. Donny Schmidt, never that happy in the sand, but he scored some good points there with a 4th. And Tom van Grimsen, who was going well in training, is in the points as well. So the winner, Stefan Everts.
Ja, ik wou een kleine afstand pakken van Marnik, dat hij niet meer zou
I
kunnen
wanted to get a good
aanvallen.
buffer in front of Marnik, but it was pretty hairy out there, and I had to ride as controlled as I could.
Maar ik heb heel gecontroleerd gereden en geen fout gemaakt en op laatst was het...
And in the end, well, I beat him by more than 20 seconds, so good result for Stefan Everts. As we move on to Heat 2. And hot away from the gate is Everts. You can see him with the lime green closest to the camera. He's in the lead, he gets the whole shot. Donny Schmidt got a good start too. Albertine got a better start. Marnik Barefoots is down in about 10th, I would think, at the moment. Kurt Nichols right with him there. Rob Herring have been going quite fast, but doesn't really like the sand. He's about 2 stone lighter this season, so he should be more competitive and should be less prone to injury, but you can see how rough it is out there. Albertine having to work his way up through the field. Well, Donny Schmidt, I said, got a good start. He's in 2nd place, and he's challenging Werner de Wit there, number 7, quite hard. And these ruts are really something else at the moment. They're really quite cut up. De Maria is out of it. Yves de Maria, who got 2nd overall, and 2 second place heat wins in Spain, is out of it in Heat 2 here in Holland. So Werner de Wit in 2nd place. Donny Schmidt chasing him, and right behind them is Greg Albertine. Somebody who's making a bit of a showing now is Joachim Carlsen on the Kawasaki, who's chasing Albertine and working his way up through the field. Is Peter Iven too, who we haven't really seen him show his nose since Sweden last year. There are going to be, talking about Sweden last year, there are going to be events in Poland this year as well, which a lot of people thought they wouldn't have. I know there are a lot of recommendations that the series shouldn't go back to Poland, but it is going to be some nationals and some Grand Prix there as well. Back to this 2nd round anyway, and this is the battle then. Stefan Everts out in front and looking fairly relaxed. Greg Albertine working his way up into 2nd place now, showing a little bit of his old form, having regained a bit of confidence in these deep sand ruts. Whoa, and it is wild and rough out there. The crowd applauding him on. Poor old Jerome Belval. Whoa, and Albertine has blown it. He's stalled his bike. He's got stuck in a rut. He's got to turn it round now and get going again. And he's lost a lot of time and a lot of momentum there. And he was pulling up so well. He'd worked his way up into 2nd place, and it all just proved a little too much. So Joachim Carlsen, I was telling you, he was looking good further down the field, and he's absolutely loving the conditions here at Valkenswaard. He's putting real pressure on the best in the world, Fred Bolley. The French really not having much luck here at Valkenswaard. Blown something up there. Stefan Everts completely oblivious to what's going on behind him, riding his own race and looking supreme. Very early on in the season to say it, but Stefan Everts really has now matured. He's got the equipment and the experience to really have a go at the world title this year. So, Greg Albertine, the man who holds that world title, has got his hands full trying to fight his way back up, having lost 2 or 3 places there. Donny Schmidt is not that comfortable, and Marnik Barefoots, well, he's worked up 5 or 6 places. The one thing about these long heats does mean that riders can work their way back up through the field if they've had a bad start. This man didn't have a bad start. Stefan Everts almost home and dry to post a double win and tremendous points victory. So if we have a look at the overall result, good one for Carlsen, eh? Greg Albertine managed to just snatch 3rd place over Werner de Wit. Marnik Barefoots couldn't work up any higher than 5th place. Stefan Everts, where I think we're going to see him a lot this year. So the overall result obviously goes to Everts. Marnik Barefoots was a very good 2nd, joint with Werner de Wit there. Donny Schmidt Not bad in the sand, 4th place. He doesn't like the sand. So a little bit of sprinkling of champagne and a chance to talk to Donny Schmidt now.
Donny, are you satisfied with the results today?
Yeah, you spoke to me earlier, and I told you my goal was a top 5 finish, and that was a realistic goal for me, and 4th overall, not bad. I had good points today and rode strong, a lot better than last year, and came away still leading the championship by, I think, 4 points. So, yeah, I'm very satisfied.
I don't know how these guys keep motivating themselves, to be honest with you. Donny Schmidt, as he says, 4 points in the lead ahead of Albertine. Yves de Maria, disappointing second heat for him. Malik Barefoot's 4th for round 1.